everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dan and Frankie Go to Hollywood. And today we are doing dinner. My name is Dan,
And I'm Frankie.
and the reason we're doing dinner is because we're here today to talk about a movie from 2020 called Dinner in America, a movie that up until not that long ago I had never heard of in my entire life. And I was around at Frankie's place one day, and she was like, "Oh, I need to show you this movie." And I'm like, Dinner in America. Okay, that's an interesting title. But I'll watch anything. So yeah, she put it on
I did tell
and
you a bit more than just the title.
you did tell me, yeah. But well, at first though, it was like Dinner in America. I'm like, okay, cool. And then yeah, I loved it so much. I just immediately ordered the Blu-ray and I've seen it three or four times now. I can't remember. And oh my God, I love this movie so much. So here to tell you a little bit more about the film is Frankie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, come on, this is your film, so you know
it's not my
it
film.
is your film. You introduced me to it.
I discovered this from the Arrow Video podcast, which is sadly no more, but they were talking about it one episode because Arrow released it, which is the version I have.
Hmm.
And just what they said about it, and they played a bit of a song from it, and I just thought, well, I'm just gonna buy that without watching it first because there
Wow.
was no way to watch it. So I thought I would just take a chance when I was ordering
Hmm.
some other things. And this is one of the best blind buys that I've ever had.
Easily, yeah. And so what's this movie about?
Well, this is a weird one to
It
explain,
is,
but
isn't it?
so we've got, I'm just gonna remind myself, I'm so bad with names.
Yeah.
So Simon, played by Carl Gellner, who this is the movie that I discovered who he was.
Hmm.
Um, is this guy who's open with him doing, you know, uh, experiments for a science place to get money,
Mm.
and which is a very disgusting opening scene where he's dealing with the side effects of whatever they've given him.
Mm.
And but yeah, he's a singer in a band and he's on the run because of stuff that we'll talk about. And he meets Patty and is like, hey, here's a girl that can hide me out from the cops. And then, um, yeah, things happen. They work out, they have a connection that they didn't know about. And yeah, it's just a fun movie. It's just kind of following a few days in their life and what happens. And it's like it's a punk love story.
Hmm. As I just had a look. So there's somebody I follow on Letterboxd who goes by the name of Amaya, Amaya, and I think it's a she, writes the funniest reviews I've ever read. And yeah, this sums it up. Sometimes an angry, crusty punk who says fuck too much meets a weird, horny, autistic girl, and then something beautiful happens. Um, so as opposed to Nobbins, who said really didn't like the first half of the movie, felt like it was trying way too hard. Second half, where the relationship developed, was enjoyable. Boo. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Nobbins. Yeah, so you put this movie on for me, and I was hooked from the first scene because this movie reminded me so much of the kind of quirkiness of Napoleon Dynamite, which is in my top 10 most favorite movies of all time. If you guys are into Napoleon Dynamite, I can't recommend this movie like more. It's um not as funny as Napoleon Dynamite. It's yeah, but just it just has that kind of weirdness to it, you know, and I love a movie that can do that. I love any movie that can break away from everything we've
I'm
ever seen before and, do something
curious
that
about
really
that
stands out. What
because
do you
I
mean?
haven't seen Napoleon Dynamite since way, way, way
Hmm.
back. Probably, when did that come out?
2004.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I probably saw it around then,
Hmm.
and I have no memory of it, but I wasn't into it.
Oh,
So,
okay, right. No, I'm at the time my friend Steve Kirkham said to me, "Oh, there's this movie." I was like, "It's the ultimate high school nerd movie or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh my God, do we really need another high school nerd movie?" And then just the name Napoleon Dynamite, I said to him, it sounds like it should be a movie about a talking dog. Like, I don't know, it just had that kind of vibe. And then he took me to see it, and I just could not believe what I'd seen. Like, that was arguably the most unique film I had ever seen in my life up until that point. Like, it was just, you could not compare it to anything. And that's what I mean, like, about this movie, it has that kind of vibe. Like, it's hard to compare this movie to a lot of things just in the way that the performances come across. Like, so many of them are a little bit over the top, but not to the point where it's silly or annoying or anything like that. Like, they managed to just, have some restraint there just to make especially Kyle Gallner, like, he's this angry,
Mm,
brooding character who's just like constantly pissed off at the whole world. um, just so suitable for a singer in a punk band, honestly.
mm,
And yeah, but like he never, yeah, I mean, it is funny at times, like the way that
mm.
he has his outbursts and stuff. So yeah,
Even little things like I noticed when there's a scene where they go into a fast food place to order and they're trying to decide what to get, and the guy's
mm,
asking about sauce, and the look on Carl Gellner's face
mm.
while he's thinking about what sauce to get.
Yeah, you kind of sometimes just think like, what would this guy be like if he had a different upbringing and like not so many chemical imbalance issues. Um, like, yeah, he's a fascinating character, but that's the thing with this movie. Like, the characters are so fascinating. And I mean everybody, not just the main two, but like we've got Leah Thompson is in this movie briefly, as sort of a, suburban housewife mum, who kind of seduces Simon and like in front of this girl that has brought him home. And she's in it just for a brief moment, but she's fascinating. It's like
Mhm.
it's so interesting. Even like the dad and brother, typical American rage-filled, toxic male duo. Like, yeah, that's fascinating. Like, everything is just so fascinating. But look, can we just talk about Patty, played by Emily Skeggs, like for
Mm.
about 2 hours? Because my God, what a performance! I mean, it's not just me, is it? She steals every scene that she's in for you as well, right?
Just a lot of good scenes. I don't
Yeah.
know that I would say every scene, but
Right, right.
she's definitely a standout character.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think I've seen her in anything before. No, I hadn't. But how do you describe her in this movie? Like, she's painfully awkward, to the point where, like, as soon as you meet her and see what she's like, you feel really sorry for this poor girl. She's constantly bullied and picked on by people. Yeah, just, but I mean, it's a fascinating journey, watching the way she starts, and then of course, and it's like I've said before, like the whole screenwriting thing where your characters can't be the same person at the end as they were at the start, and yeah, I think for both of them that works. Like, she learns to take charge and stand up to bullies and all that sort of thing. I think by the end of it, he kind of softened up a little bit. Would you say?
Yeah, I guess.
A
But
little, like,
yeah.
he found love.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, even though he was getting sent off to jail, but like, I'm sure he reformed and came out a better man. Yeah, and oh man, God, there's just so much I want to talk about, so I'm just going to be like grabbing things here and there. But the music in this movie, um, I it's and again, it's like nothing I've really kind of heard before. Like, it's this electronic, very sort of, rhythmical score, but it is placed in scenes that I wouldn't ordinarily think a score would be. Like there's a lot of music going on in this film, and I dug it though. It it added to the kind of ah, whimsical vibe. Not really whimsical, but I don't. I'm having
Yeah,
trouble with adjectives right
it's
now.
it is that kind of movie where it doesn't there's a lot to it that doesn't feel realistic, but it
Mm,
doesn't feel completely not realistic either.
mm,
It's just like, yeah, like the heightened personalities of the characters and stuff
mm,
that is sort of exaggerated character types, but it still works as feeling like, yeah, like movie real life sort
mm.
of thing where, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, and
yeah.
you've got those like two tracksuit guys
Yes. I was hoping we were
as
going to
well.
talk about them soon. So yeah, these two guys that are obviously gay as hell for each other, and they're constantly picking on Patty, but in a really, really disgusting, vulgar sort of a way. And yeah, like you just instantly hate them. And then I I kind of like the, when they first meet Simon, like when Patty and Simon are on the bus and they get confronted, and you just kind of think, like, did you think the first time you saw it, like, oh my God, Simon's is gonna like absolutely, waste these two guys, and then,
Mm.
but yeah, they take him off and like absolutely beat the shit out of him, like he's on the ground, like unable to move, and then, but I like that because it feels his revenge desire, and oh, what a revenge scene. I thought that was so good.
But
Yeah.
also the cat that's involved in the scene and the thing with that she's just left this dead cat
Yeah.
in her yard. And
Mm.
then when Simon's there and he sees it, and there's a really cool conversation, and he's like, that's some creepy shit. And she's like, is it? And he's like, yeah, serial killer stuff.
Yeah.
And then she's like, do you think I'm weird? And he's like, yeah, you're fucking weird.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
And this
yeah.
whole conversation and that whole like how he keeps saying I'm fucking with you and
Mm.
all that stuff. And
Yeah.
then, oh, which does lead to the, because, hang on, I'll get to that later because we
Are you
haven't even
sure?
talked. Yeah, well, because it's to do with the brother that we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, yeah, right. Whose name I can't remember.
Kevin.
Kevin. There you go. Prayed? No, played by Griffin Gluck. Wow. Yeah, and again, fascinating character. Like, yeah. I, man, that. Well, yeah, okay. So the name of the movie becomes familiar, or reveals itself because there are so many scenes in this film involving food and sitting around a dinner table and everything. And well, of course, there is also the song in the film called that. But yeah,
What
and
song? There's a song?
yeah, there's a song by his band called Dinner in America.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Um, And yeah, but yeah, my most favorite dinner scene is the one where Simon has convinced Patty's family that his parents are just gotten back from a missionary, journey in Africa or whatever, and he's looking for a place to crash and everything, like, and he's just deeply religious person and all this sort of stuff, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's nice. And so then he leads the family into prayer after he's found out that Kevin was adopted. And the way that he brings that in at the end of the prayer, just the look on his face. Oh man.
Yeah, and all the back and forth with Patty and Kevin.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the sibling fighting at the table and everything.
Yeah, I
It was pretty
mean,
fun.
like,
So that was, yeah, payback for him being a
exactly. They
dick, pretty
just
much.
they never did take it down a notch, did they? So that phrase gets thrown around Patty's family quite a lot. You need to turn it down a notch. And yeah, you and I, we were using that phrase for quite a while after after you showed me that film. But yeah, no, that
But
scene is so great.
then that also leads to the later scene when they're in the fast food place later,
Mm,
and she's like, you can kiss me now.
Mm,
And so kisses her, and then he says that she's a good kisser. And she's like, oh, I guess all that practice with Kevin paid off because,
mm,
he's not my real brother.
yeah.
And it's just this long moment of him looking at her. And then she's like, I'm just fucking with you. So she finally got her thing back on him. And then he
Hmm.
tells her she needs to take it down a notch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my
And
God,
it's like, thank you.
so good. That's the thing, the writing in this, like absolutely everything in this film. To me, this is an absolutely perfect film. I gave it 5 stars from the very start. I can't fault it, honestly. Everything from yeah, like I said, the performances, I mean the direction by Adam Ray Meyer, I don't know. Who right, has done Snack Shack, which I still need to see because of
Yeah.
your
Which
recommendation.
I, yes, mentioned a lot last year. It made my
You
top
did.
10. It was very high in
Yes.
my top 10.
Yep, yep, yep. And I have been very keen to see that film.
It's a very
And
different type of movie, but I
mhm,
still really liked it a lot.
yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, so he's done dinner and he's done snacks. I wonder what his next film's gonna is it gonna revolve around drinks? Is it gonna revolve around hors d'oeuvres, maybe? Yeah, anyway. But no,
No, no, his next movie is Carolina, Caroline, which
well,
also
bit
has
disappointed.
Carl Gellner in it
Ah, well, there you go.
with Samara Weaving,
Ah, okay. She's cool. Um, she's cool
which
mostly
has
when she
been filmed,
screams, though.
so hopefully we get that next
Yeah.
year, which is a young woman skips her small town in search of her estranged mother with a charismatic con man, sounds perfect
Mm.
for Carl Gellner,
Mm.
on the run from the law. The duo leave a wave of crime and passion behind them as they hustle their way through the southeast.
All right. Well, there you go. Yeah, no, that'll be good. But yeah, no, everything in this film I thought was absolutely perfect. I also thought the editing was really great. I really kind of noticed it more this time. Like they often say like the best kind of editing is when you don't notice it. When you're sort of just sitting there watching a movie and you don't think about the editing, which is kind of a like a bit of a paradox because sometimes you notice editing that is so good that it's kind of like, well, I did notice it, but it's only because it is so good. And I actually thought, yeah, the editing in this film was really, really superb.
Which was
Like
Adam as well.
Oh, okay, right, right, cool.
Mm.
Um, yeah, but to me, like above all, I mean, look, I absolutely love punk culture. I love punk music. I love punk fashion. I love I mean, it's why Cruella was, that movie just spoke volumes to me because, it had like a real sort of punk vibe as well. And it doesn't get more punk than this film, as they say, it's punk as fuck. And yeah, cool. I really dig that scene as well in the diner where he goes to confront the rest of his band and that guy sitting next to him is just like absolutely wasted. That scene was hilariously funny. Um, yeah, and yeah, just that whole thing of like, his band selling him out and everything. Like that's just such a shitty thing to do. Like, I dug that, there was a lot of dramatic tension there. They just weren't this sort of really close-knit, tight band who got along well and all this sort of stuff. Like, because that wouldn't be very punk. Um, yeah. What else? I'm talking a lot about this movie and
Well, yeah, that's fine. I was going to say it's a very sort of DIY thing for release too, because of course this came out, well, was meant to come out in 2020, and then because of COVID, it didn't get its proper theatrical release, and it was very much a word of mouth. And
right.
I know Kyle especially was like all over social media promoting and everything
Hmm.
and trying to do stuff. And then I think, was it last year? Time's funny now, but they actually, through people requesting, they actually got a whole heap of theatrical screenings.
Right, right.
And I think Kyle and Adam went to some of them for like Q&A things and stuff.
Mm,
So they actually got it in cinemas finally. So
right,
it's
right.
just been a real like yeah, sort of indie thing of just
Hmm.
talking about it, getting the word out there. But it very
Yeah, sure.
much is a word of mouth movie, I think, that
Oh, there's no doubt. Like I
because
would.
everyone that enjoys it talking about it has,
Mm.
yeah, led to so many people watching it.
I would probably never have heard of it, honestly, if you hadn't sat me down and like forced me to watch it. I love saying that because I know it's not true. Yeah, I would never have heard of it, I don't think. So yeah, oh my God, like if anything, if if I was to pick like one thing out of our friendship that meant to me the most, it would be that you showed me dinner in America. No, that's not true. I love your cats. Anyway, yeah, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? What was I going to say?
And
I don't know.
even like random scenes, like I
Hmm.
love the scene where, because as John Q, his band persona, because no
Hmm.
one knows who he is, he always wears a mask at their gigs. He has a mailbox and he's been getting these sort of love poems, and
Mm.
he gets his mail and hops on the bus and goes to read one. And this old lady gets on the bus,
Yes.
or older lady, and just
Mm.
sits right next to him, even though there's all these empty seats.
Yeah, the
And
whole
it's
bus
just
is pretty
fun.
much empty.
Yeah, just the way he like looks around and then,
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
just such a weird, random thing
Exactly. And
there.
that is also another reason why I'm going to keep coming back to Napoleon Dynamite because that film had so many moments in it that were just there because it's funny. They're just there because why not? I mean, yeah, you could easily edit that moment out of the film and it's not going to change anything, but it's such a memorable moment and it's so true. And I guess you kind of, in a way, maybe in a way it sort of emphasizes that, you know, Simon has his reasons for being bitter at the world because the world does that sort of shit to him. So maybe it's not as pointless as I initially thought, but
Wow, that's a
uh,
very deep reading into the scene.
you got to admit though, it's.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's weird, but I don't know that it would be that message.
It could very well be. I mean, they do say that a director will never put anything on screen that they don't want you to see, and so yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too deeply into it. It is entirely possible. But yeah, that's wow. I'm gonna write an entire essay about that scene now. No, I'm not really. I love
But I
so
do love
much.
that it's more chances for Kyle to have that what the fuck look on his face that
I love so much the moment that Simon finds out that it's actually Peggy who's been sending him all of
Patty.
these. Patty, yes, not Peggy. Where did I get? Oh, Emily Skeggs, egg, peg. Yeah. Patty, that's what I said. Shut up. I'm going to
Mm.
edit this. So I'm going to drop the name Patty in there, and you're going to be, everyone listening is going to be like, why is she correcting him? He said it right the first time. Um, so yes, no, the moment that he finds out that it's
Mm.
her, I love that so much. Just the absolute sheer panic on his face and everything. And yeah, but I like that, even though he sort of flees, like, yeah, I like that, he didn't just give up on her entirely or whatever. And it turned out it was the start of a beautiful thing.
Mm.
So yeah. Um, but yeah, no, oh God, there's just so many moments in this film. And of course, yeah, the song, which the name I can't remember of it.
Watermelon.
Watermelon. That's it. That's why I couldn't
Mm.
remember it because it's a strange name. Yeah, God, that song is catchy as hell. It's so easy to play. Anyone with like even the most basic knowledge of instruments could easily record their own version of this song. But yeah, it's so goddamn
Yeah,
catchy. And
I looked it up and listened to it before this because I know from Kyle's social media that apparently it just disappeared from at least Spotify for a while, and
oh,
he said
really?
they were working on stuff, but so I was just looking and it's back. But there's also extra stuff from last time I was listening to it, and there's a single that has the iPhone demo,
Hmm.
which is very pared back because obviously
Mm.
they're just recording it on their phone. And obviously that was an earlier one because she was saying fuck them all. So it
Ah,
was
right,
before they
right.
changed it to fuck
Hmm.
them all. And
Right.
there's also what they call the overnight demo, which is more electric, but it sounds a bit more sort of heavy grungy rather
Hmm.
than, the final version has that kind of hazy
Mm.
sort of vibe to it.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it's interesting. So you can hear three different versions of the
Cool.
song.
I'll definitely have to check that out because I
And
love that
so
song. Like,
that's, yeah, Watermelon by John and Jane Q. Public.
right, right. Yeah, because like the whole song only has three chords. Like the verse has just two chords going through it, and then the sort of chorusy thing just goes into one other chord, and like that's it. Really simple, but yeah, I mean, God, it just suits the punk vibe again, because
Yeah, well,
like
it's
you don't have
partially
more than three
why
chords.
partially why I did the blind buy is because I
Yeah.
heard part of that song as well
Ah,
as
okay,
what they were
right, right.
saying about it, which is what I said at the start of the
Hmm.
episode.
Yep.
So yeah, it's that kind of song that will
Mm.
make you want to see it.
Oh yeah, yeah, but just the whole scene, like where they're recording it and everything, like yeah, I don't know. I guess that spoke to me, like on a musical level. Yeah, that was it. Just yeah, look, just I love it. I don't really know if I have much more to say because I've said so much already for a movie that you should have talked so much about. Just kidding. I know. What do you have anything else about this movie?
I don't think so.
Yeah. All right.
It's just one that, yeah, everyone should watch.
It's
It's
rewatchable as well. Like that's the thing. Like even no matter how many times you've seen it, it is one of those movies that you're going to want to watch again. Well, if you like me and Frankie, yeah, it's one of those things. Is like, man, I really want to watch that again. And like no matter how many times you watch it, it is always so supremely enjoyable. I will never drop it down from 5 stars. That is firmly stuck there for all eternity.
yeah.
Um,
And it's not streaming anywhere here, but it is available to rent
mm,
or purchase digitally,
hmm.
which is something because there's so many movies I want to see that just aren't available in Australia
I
yet. So,
know.
yes, I'm glad that this one has made it here now.
Yeah, yeah. Or you can be like the two of us and actually just buy it, like order it on eBay or whatever. Like, yeah,
Or
well worth.
directly. Arrow probably still have
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, there's that. Yeah, so yeah, no, if this sounds like the sort of movie that appeals to you, absolutely do not hesitate to check it out. Yeah, and yeah, if you've seen it already, and if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can feel free to fire away in the comments. Let us know what you thought
Oh,
of Dinner in America. Uh,
the other thing I love is that, and it happens a few times where everyone says to Simon, like, "What's wrong with your hair?"
Yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love that he never says anything.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I
And
actually
that's
wanted
that's
to,
just Simon.
because you know that you could make a really mean mohawk out of that because it's like
Yeah.
shaved on both sides, just with like a
Yeah. Well, I
comb
imagine
over sort of a
that's
thing. So,
like
mm, we never
part
got
of
to
the
see
thing.
that. I might have to
Mm.
throw
Well,
him
he
into
always
a.
wears the mask like balaclava when
Mm.
they play, so he can't do a mohawk,
Yeah, yeah, I know. I don't know. I
or
think I
at
might
least
have to
not for
work
his
on
own
a
gigs.
work on a Photoshop version of that or an AI pic or something. Yeah, because I want to see his hair in all its glory. But yeah. Anyway, but yes, if you guys want to find us on social media, we are on the Book of Faces, we are on the Sky That Is Blue, and we are on the Turd That Is Twit. And yes, if you just go to Google and type in Dan and Frankie Go to Hollywood, you'll find us. We're out there somewhere. So yeah, come and say hi. Let us know what you thought of Dinner in America, or just let us know anything really. Like, we're very approachable young people. Like we're pretty, we're cool. We're hip with all what the kids are saying. We're lit. We're YOLO. Uh, Yeah, no. Uh, now, right now, like our subscriber count is just about to plummet immensely. But yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm
Do you
sorry
know
about that.
what I learned? Just a tangent that has nothing to do with this.
Good.
Um,
What?
I will just another movie recommendation that I'll mention on our hangout, but
Hmm.
Bob Trevino Likes It is a movie that's come out recently.
Right.
And I was watching some promo stuff on, and they were doing a slang thing
Hmm.
because they had Barbie Ferreira, who I imagine is super young, and
Hmm.
John Leguizamo, who's not.
Mm.
And so they were having him guess what the slang was that Gen Z or
Right,
whatever were
right.
using. And one of them was cap. And
Ah,
he was like, is
yeah.
it, something to do with kneecaps? And I'm like, isn't that shooting someone? But now it
Hmm.
means lie. If
Oh,
you lie, so you'll see people online will say no cap in response to
right,
something, and that means
right.
no lie. And I'm like, I've never heard that. And then I was
Yeah.
thinking, I don't know if any slang that I used when I was young. I was in New
Mm.
Zealand, so maybe it's different, but
Mm.
I feel like slang was just there. I
Mm.
don't feel like we took any previous slang and changed it to a new meaning.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I'm
mean,
just
cap
wondering.
cap for shooting, I found out because I was looking it up because I was like, doesn't it mean shooting people?
Mm.
And yeah, it came from particularly a movie, a Western movie, because
Oh,
the
really?
cap of gunpowder in the
Yeah.
guns. So it was like a
Ah,
thing from the 1800s. So that's why. And then I
right.
think
That's interesting.
rap culture in the 90s or
Oh,
something
yeah, yeah,
went with
absolutely.
that. Yeah, which is what's in my head.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I'm just
yeah.
wondering now when I see someone who, is like writing all caps, does that mean like whatever they write is just complete lies? Like just everything is a lie because it's all caps?
Yeah, well.
Hmm. Anyway, cool. Well, on that note,
Hmm.
we're off. Stay tuned on the next episode where we're going to be starting our Stallone series, which we'll be kicking off with Rocky. So
Is that
yes,
what's next?
that is what's next. Yep,
Okay.
I know.
I haven't checked our schedule for a
Yeah,
while.
well, I checked it about, actually, it's on my screen right now.
Oh, okay.
And I've been like looking. Oh, there we are. Okay, yeah, cool. We're in the future. But anyway, so
Hmm.
yes, stay tuned for
That'll
that.
be good.
Oh, it will be good. Yeah, until then, stay safe, watch lots of movies, eat lots of dinner, and bye for now.